This is the front section of the old DINKY Yale front loader, which has been converted to full radio control. The problem is, of course, making linear actuators to do the job. It's not quite as straightforward as it would appear, but the linear actuators are working. The top one is more visually exposed than I would like. It has to be so because of the way it all folds up when it's lowered, but and going down, I can only operate this at the moment by clipping on the leads. So it's not as convenient as it should be for this. But this shows that it works. The motor is a 6mm gear motor, about 240 RPM at 3.7 volts, and that's driving an M2 2mm thread lead screw within the ram, and the ram assembly is 3D printed, and that bit there is the gear motor, and there is a spur gear on the end of the gear motor, an idler spur gear, and then a spur gear on the end of the actual M2 shaft of the ram itself. So that's how that works. And we have a sort of similar arrangement on the mast. May or may not topple over with balance wise. And that lowers right down. And you can see why the motor on this one has to go above, because when it's all collapsed like this, there's no room for it to go anywhere other than the top. And that's it at full extension. So it works well. The loader arm power is provided by an N20 gear motor, but a flip type. So this is an N20 gear motor, but the flip type, the gearbox comes out to the side and the shaft comes out this way, and it makes it a more compact unit, and that's what we have inside there. And it takes up the whole of the innards, and there's an M3 threaded output shaft in that, which is doing the heavy lifting. And it is heavy lifting with all this at that leverage, and particularly if you start putting things in the bucket, it's actually doing quite a lot of work. So you need the power of an N20 to make that work efficiently. But that's the business end of a radio controlled front loader in 7mm. Interestingly, I looked long and hard at different makes of models, different models of front loaders in this sort of scale, and none of them were quite suitable for conversion. And the old, very old, now probably 40 years old, Dinky Yale was the most appropriate, I felt, for conversion. So there we go. That's progress on this project.